Hello, everyone. Good evening. So I hope all of you are doing great. Yes. So good evening and welcome to a new session. We are back with a new session of revision for RPSC. Okay. So if you're new to our channel, then please do subscribe. And if you're watching this video right now, then please do like the video. Good evening, and welcome to this session. This is our 5th session of RPSC. This is our 5th session of RPSC. Are you all ready? Yes. Good evening. Hi. So I hope all of you have joined by now. Now let's start the session. Let's move on to the first question for tonight. Okay? Yes, here we go. Anti-Oedipus, Capitalism and Schizophrenia. It's a 1972 book by Dash. In this book, the authors developed the concepts and theories in schizoanalysis, a loose critical practice initiated from the standpoint of schizophrenia and psychosis, as well as from the social progress that capitalism has spurred. So, which authors wrote this work? Anti-Oedipus, Capitalism and Schizophrenia. Tell me, who wrote this work? It is by Deleuze and Guattari. It is by Deleuze and Guattari. Yes? Did you all get it? Very good. Very good. Let's move on to the next question. The Enlightenment, which discovered the liberties, also invented the disciplines. Who said this? Who made this statement? The Enlightenment, which discovered the liberties, also invented the disciplines. Who made this statement? Who made this statement? Say, who made this statement? The statement was made by Michel Foucault. Michel Foucault said that the Enlightenment, which discovered the liberties, also invented the disciplines. Foucault has written extensively on the Enlightenment movement of the 18th century. Yes, right. Next. Gayatri Spivak's essay, The Politics of Translation, argues that translation is a deeply political act, not merely linguistic, critiquing how Western feminists often misrepresent non-Western, especially third world texts by making them too accessible, thereby erasing their unique cultural and rhetorical complexity, enforcing power imbalances. Is it true or false? It's a statement about the essay, The Politics of Translation by Gayatri Spivak, where she argues that translation is a deeply political act. Is it true or false? It is absolutely true. Uh-oh. It is absolutely true. Okay? It is very true that Gayatri Spivak's essay, The Politics of Translation, argues that translation is a deeply political act, not merely linguistic, It is absolutely true. Okay, right. The act of reading, a theory of aesthetic response, is a work by whom? Tell me, who wrote this? The act of reading, a theory of aesthetic response. Since you guys have a whole paper on theory and criticism and grammar, so I thought today let's do more of theory and criticism. Who wrote this work? The act of reading, a theory of aesthetic response. It is by Wolfgang Iser. It is by Wolfgang Iser. Yes, it's a work from reader response theory. Reader response theory. The act of reading, a theory of aesthetic response. Okay, right. It is by Wolfgang Iser. Very good. Next. So before we proceed, let me give you all a reminder that we are starting our new IELTS batch from 8th of December. If you have, if you're planning to apply at the universities abroad, you will need IELTS or TOEFL, right? So this course will really help you to end your IELTS exam at the very first time. So you can join our IELTS course, and this course is starting from 8th of December. Okay, right. Have you all liked the session? Have you all liked the session? Very good. Yes. All right. Please like the session. Okay. Next. God without God without thunder. An unorthodox defense of orthodoxy is a work by whom? God without thunder. An unorthodox defense of orthodoxy. It's a work by which theorist? J.C. Ransom, Alan Tate, I.A. Richards, or Frank Kermode? J.C. Ransom, Alan Tate, I.A. Richards, or Frank Kermode? Who wrote this work? Yes, it is J.C. Ransom. J.C. Ransom was a new critique. He belonged to the movement of new criticism. He wrote works like The World's Body. The New Criticism is also a collection of essays by J.C. Ransom, published in 1941. The New Criticism, that's also a collection of essays by J.C. Ransom, published in 1941. And from this book, apparently, the movement got its name of New Criticism. So J.C. Ransom wrote works like God Without Thunder, The World's Body, The New Criticism, and the criticism that he talked about is ontological criticism. Ontological criticism. Okay? Yes. So J.C. Ransom. Right. Next. Writing and Difference is a book by Derrida. And this collection, because it's a collection of essays by Derrida, and this collection contains the essay Cogito and the History of Madness, a critique of Dash, Saussure, Foucault, Jameson, or Heidegger. Writing and Difference, it's a work by Derrida. It's a collection of essays by Derrida. And this collection contains the essay, or this book has the essay, Cogito and the History of Madness, which critiques which theorist? So this essay in this book, Cogito and the History of Madness. This essay in the book Writing and Difference by Derrida critiques which theorist? Saussure, Foucault, Jameson, or Heidegger? Yes, correct. Correct. It is. It critiques Foucault. So, Writing and Difference is a work by Derrida, and this book has the essay Cogito and the History of Madness, a critique of Foucault. A critique of Foucault. Because remember, Foucault had written Madness and Civilization, right? Do you all remember the chronology of the works of Foucault? Like Discipline and Punish was published in 1975. Discipline and Punish 1975. The History of Sexuality, The Birth of the Clinic, The Order of Things. All these are very important works by Foucault. Please memorize the chronology of the works of Foucault. Okay? Right. There is no good father. That's the rule. Don't lay the blame on men, but on the bond of paternity, which is rotten. To beget children, nothing better, to have them, what iniquity. Who made this statement? Freud, Lacan, Sartre, Jung. There is no good father. Who made this statement? Tell me. This statement was made by Jean-Paul Sartre. Jean-Paul Sartre said that there is no good father. That's the rule. This statement was made by Jean-Paul Sartre. Borderlands La Frontera, the new Mestia, is a 1987 semi-autobiographical work by Dash that examines the Chicano and Latino experience through the lens of issues such as gender, identity, race, and colonialism. Borderlands La Frontera, the new Mestia. Who wrote this work? It's a work that examines the Chicana Latina experience through the lens of gender, identity, race, and colonialism. It's by Gloria Anzaldúa. Borderlands La Frontera. It's a work by Gloria Anzaldúa. Gloria Anzaldúa. Okay, next. New historicism, a form of literary theory which aims to understand intellectual history through literature and literature through its cultural context, follows the 1950s field of history of ideas and refers to itself as a form of cultural poetics. It first developed in the 1980s, primarily through the work of the critic Stephen Greenblatt, and gained widespread influence in the 1990s. Is there anything wrong with the statements here? Is there anything wrong with the statements here? Here, all these statements are true. All these statements are true about new historicism. New historicism. I hope you all know the major works of Stephen Greenblatt, like Renaissance, self-fashioning, Hamlet in Purgatory, Shakespearean negotiations. Yes, please look up once again all the major works of Stephen Greenblatt. Stephen Greenblatt can be important. Okay, all right. Next, meta history. The historical imagination in 19th century Europe is a work of historiography by Dash, first published in 1973. Who wrote this work of historiography? Meta history, the historical imagination in 19th century Europe. It's a work of historiography by whom? Tell me. I will start. I will do YouTube classes for net as well after this RPSC series is over because they have their exam on 11th of December. So we have to do these sessions as well. So after this RPSC series, we will do net series again. Okay. Yes, meta history, the historical imagination in 19th century Europe is by Hayden White. It is obviously by Hayden White. Who said that Shakespeare sacrifices virtue to convenience? Who said that Shakespeare sacrifices virtue to convenience? Yeah. After this RPS series is over, we will start Netka series again because RPSC people have their exam on the 11th of this month. So yeah. This was said by Samuel Johnson. Samuel Johnson. Tell me, Johnson's preface to Shakespeare was published in which year? Johnson's preface to Shakespeare was published in which year? Johnson's preface to Shakespeare was published in 1765. 1765. Johnson's preface to Shakespeare was published in, yes, correct, 1765. Correct. Okay. Citing translation, History, Post-Structuralism and the Colonial Context is a work by whom? Spivak, Susie Tharu, Tejaswini Niranjana or Urvashi Butalia. Citing translation, History, Post-Structuralism and the Colonial Context. It's a work by whom? It's a work by Tejaswini Niranjana. Tejaswini Niranjana. Citing translation, History, Post-Structuralism and the Colonial Context. Tell me, here, who among them wrote Subject to Change? Who among them wrote Subject to Change? Subject to Change is by Susie Tharu. Susie Tharu. Who among them wrote a work on partition? Who among them wrote a non-fiction work on partition? It was Urvashi Butalia, The Other Side of Silence. I think that's the work of non-fiction and partition by Urvashi Butalia. Today we talked about which work of Spivak? Today we talked about which work of Spivak? We talked about her essay, The Politics of Translation by Spivak. The Politics of Translation by Spivak. It's an essay by Spivak. Okay? Right. Got it? Are you all following? Hmm. Yes, correct. The Philosophy of Composition. It's an 1846 essay by Dash that elucidates a theory about how good writers write when they write well. He concludes that length, unity of effect, and logical method are important considerations for good writing. Who wrote this essay, The Philosophy of Composition? The Philosophy of Composition is by correct. It is by Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe. Okay? Yes. Now, the last question for tonight. Between men, English literature and male homosocial desire. It's a very important concept in theory. Male homosocial desire. Who wrote this work? Between men, English literature and male homosocial desire. Who wrote this? Male homosocial desire is also a very important concept. Tell me. Yes. It is by Eve Kosofsky Sagewicz. Eve Kosofsky Sagewicz wrote Between Men, English Literature and Male Homosocial Desire. Okay, right. So that's all from our side for tonight. I hope these questions have helped you a bit. And I will see you all again on Monday at 9 p.m. at our Vallath channel. Till then, please keep studying, please keep revising. And I hope all of you will like the session. Yes, do like the session before you leave. All right. Yes. And I will see you all again on Monday at exactly 9 p.m. All right. So bye then. Take care. Good night. Okay. And keep studying. Bye. I'm ending the session now. All right. Yes. Bye. Good night. And do have a lovely weekend.